Welcome to ForexTV.com. Today's Monday, August 10th. I'm Tim Kelly with your New York Forex Market Buzz. Dollar is broadly advancing against most major currencies at the start of the trading week, while the U.S. equity markets are retreating. Commodity futures, including crude oil and gold, are also declining. The yield on the U.S. government 10-year note is down 8 basis points, now at 3.78%. Today we're joined by Marco Hague, Global Trade Director at the LFB. Marco, welcome.
Hello, Tim.
Well, always good to talk to you, Marco. I don't usually get you on a Monday, if I recall correctly.
No, usually get me on the non-farm payrolls or the Federal Reserve, so it makes a nice change.
Yeah, it does indeed, and probably a good time, Marco. We're seeing a bit of a change here in the way things work in the currency markets and the equity markets. Right now, I think we're probably going to start off with sterling, but just as a note, dollar strength against the euro looks like the momentum has swung. But Marco, why don't we start with sterling right now? Down really big, almost three big figures today. We're off those lows right now, but certainly sliding here. What do you see ahead for sterling?
We had the Bank of England boulder that got dropped on Thursday at the rate decision, rates on hold, as we heard the Bank of England increase their asset purchase program. A lot of noise in the market at the moment, Tim, so we really got to stick on these 4-hour kind of momentum plays. But looking at cable now, down against the yen, down against the euro, down against the Swiss franc, weak pound across the board. And as we know, pound yen, pound Swiss, euro pound, all made up of whatever the value of pound dollar against euro dollar, euro Swiss, dollar yen is. So we've got overall weakness, but it's the one pair, Tim, that we don't have a commodity to back. So this pair will overshoot, as we know, the mark and then turn it around. We've got Wednesday, the inflation report, and I'm not sure how much attention that retail traders pay to that. It's a biggie. It's a real big release.
Right, Marco. You mentioned the way that, and I was just going to mention it. You stole my thunder a little bit, and I'm glad you did. Sterling has a tendency to trade on a sentiment basis and overshoots by a large margin, and does that over sustained periods of time. So this is clearly a currency pair that you want to follow the trend on. Is that correct?
I agree, and if you don't know the nuances of cable, then I would say to you, if you're new to Forex, get your feet wet on euro dollar, something that will run 20 or 30 pips. If you miss it, it'll come back and pick you up. Don't go for the sexy kind of cable 200 pip runs. You look back on this today and you think, okay, 300 pips there. Where was I when that happened? Well, we topped out at 67.40. We came down to pivot point support 1, 66.30. You wouldn't expect it to go through that very easily. 65.90 is the 20-day simple moving average, so you're going to stop there like a bus stop. Just underneath that, pivot point 2, 65.40, you stop there. And pivot point 3 on the support, Tim, is also the 50-day moving average at 64.40. So the peg gave you a chance to get in it on the way down, but it's whether you trusted it to do it on its own, because it was moving at a far higher percentage rate than the other cross pairs. So I think sometimes traders slam themselves a little bit and think, oh, how did I miss that one? But that stair step down with nothing back in it, you wouldn't have really known it was going to continue that way.
Sure. It's tough in the best of times, Marco.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, Marco. Let's look at some of the data points right now. We've got the 10-year U.S. government note trading now yields above the German 10-year Bund. We've got a bit of a change in momentum here. No longer are you getting paid to hold to buy euro or sell dollars now, and that is putting a lot of pressure. The G10 is under pressure against the dollar today, and so looking at dollar index and where we are with regard to this reversal, what are your thoughts going forward?
I wouldn't buy into the dollar right now. If you're not already in the dollar, I think you've got to wait and you've got to go through that pain of just watching this drop another maybe 50, 60 pips if it does that. And the reason is the 4-hour charts, the first time we've had this for about 5 weeks, we're starting to get some 4-hour trend line now that are starting to arc over a little bit. We're getting some major pairs just kind of flopping over. So be careful here, because although the trend looks like it's about to change, the momentum reads are dramatically oversold. Now, on the major pairs, they can stay oversold for quite a while, Tim, as we know. But from a technical trader's point of view and an institutional trader that's loaded trend recognition software, once you go through oversold, you don't sell it. You just hold on to what you've got and you close that position when you come back up through again. So right at this point in time could be a horrible time to instigate a long dollar trade if you haven't already taken a slice out of it. You might have just missed the boat. Be patient, wait for Asia. You're going to get a pullback before the Asian markets come, but just be patient here.
So you think dollar will give something back in this session or going into the Asian session?
We're just running into the close of the NYMEX. This liveliness that we've got here will probably stop a little bit as we run into that swap interest at 4 o'clock East Coast time to 5 o'clock period. And then we've got that no man's land whilst we wait for Japan to get going around 7 o'clock in the evening. So you're going to get a little pullback there, right. But you've got to be really careful on cable. Right at this point in time, dollar yen looks as though it's got some strength to it. It's holding support at the 100-day moving average at 96.50 at the moment. That's not a bad pair. But you look at all of these major pairs, CAD's at the 20-day simple moving average. Swiss's just gone through the 20 and holding the 50-day moving average. Euro's at the 20-day moving average. Cable's in a sandwich between the 50 and the 20. Aussie's about to drop down onto those major price points.
Right.
And they're daily points. So if you've missed the boat, don't worry. This was instigated off the non-farm payroll, which questionable as to what that report will give us next month. Questionable at best. But the dollar had taken a bit of a beating, Tim, and I think this is just taking the froth off. I still can't see any reason why you would want to be a long dollar bull for a sustained period of time. And we sent a note out to the members today that just said it straddles. We'll go long and short, strongest trade plan, weakest trade plan, take the noise out of the equation, and we're going to get caught one way or the other. We'll either catch the long side or the short side. But at these swing points, you've got to be prepared, I think, to straddle with two different pairs.
Okay, Marco, I appreciate that. I'm a big advocate of LFB and your analysis. I get that. I use it to set up my broadcast here. I certainly appreciate that. Marco, at this point, I know you've got a new product coming out. I want to take a moment just for our listeners and our audience. Forex TV nor myself get paid for this, but I use Marco's product extensively. I want to give an opportunity to talk a little bit about what's new at LFB and how traders can benefit from it. I certainly do. Marco, why don't you take a moment, give us a little bit of a heads up of what you've got and what you offer to traders.
Thank you, Tim. Just really quick, we're providing each day a trade plan for each of the major pairs that's going to give you a full rundown of your entry points, your stops, your targets, your 4-hour analysis, your trend analysis. We've gone into the charting now, and we're creating 4 sets of Elliott wave charts per currency pair that go into the trade plan as well. We're looking at the option side of things and expanding out into the currency options that we've had a good history with stock and equity options. We feel now that there is plenty of liquidity now in these Forex options, enough liquidity to keep the things flowing, so we're going to be launching into the Forex option realm as well. And also pleased to announce that we're going to be able to hook up with Forex TV and make some of these service offerings available via the Forex TV Connect and off the main website as well. Got a couple of things coming through with regard to trader news. If you're a trader that doesn't want to pay for a subscription, you feel that you don't really need daily guidance on what's going on, or you've got the time to do 10 trade plans a day, then the Forex news feed that comes through to your site, Tim, absolutely invaluable as a trader, just to pick yourself up really quickly with what's going on.
Sure. We publish that on a daily basis. We're happy to have it, Marco. I use it. And just a note to the viewers here: you can connect with Marco Hague and the LFB by going to forextvconnect.com and leave Marco a note there. We'll have him prominently displayed there. You can ask him questions about this new product and just get a better sense of things. I certainly would advocate you do that. Marco, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for providing this great service. I enjoy it. I hope the listeners and the viewers are enjoying it as well. Appreciate you coming on the show again.
Thank you, Tim.
This has been your New York Forex Market Buzz with Marco Hague of the LFB. I'm Tim Kelly. Join us later this afternoon for PM Exchange with guest Rudy Narvis of Forecast right here on forextv.com.